it's and that's our closest point. I think the between the Aleutian and the Commodore Islands, and there's another islandette type of area there that I think we're like 3 miles apart. The international date line is about the only thing that separates us. It's a very symbolic area. Also, the Arctic is a key area for development. There's economic opportunities there, and there's some security issues as well. But yes, it was a surprise, but actually because of the cultural and the economic potentials, maybe an appropriate place to have this meeting. Originally discovered by the first Europeans discovering, obviously natives were already living there, but Bering's exploration discovered the western side of Alaska. Alaska was initially part of, back in the early 1700s, Alaska was part of the Russian Empire. Actually, I think Peter the Great was who commissioned the explorations. And Bering actually was a Danish-born, sea person, Navy person, who actually then served in the Russian Navy. So, and he went from his Danish name to Ivan as his first name in the Russian side. So it's a very historical aspect on that side. The other side, obviously, then the selling of the property back in the late 1800s. But I think also the key portions here are one on the historical and symbolic side is you've got huge economic potential. You got one security aspects that we're concerned about as far as the Arctic in general, but there's development initiatives going on in the Arctic. The U.S. really hasn't played much of a role in that other than oil and gas exploration and mineral exploration in Alaska. But Russia has the longest Arctic coastline. So this would come into play in that area as well. Canada has a large Arctic exposure also. So it'll be So I think that'll play a role as far as both from a security perspective as well as from an economic perspective, economic development and trade perspective. So there's potential here from that as a result of the historical aspect as well as the economic development aspect that could play. I think will be part of the discussion in this aspect. So obviously, you're going to talk about Ukraine, probably talk about European security in general, but I think a key area is going to be economic and trade developments and potential. Well, I think there's a potential for a breakthrough, both on a breakthrough of the Ukraine as well as a breakthrough in trade and a breakthrough on the U.S.-Russia relations. Problem with the peace side, we've got Europe, primarily Britain, and Ukraine, Zelensky, as major barriers and potential disruptors. So it's, could we have a major breakthrough? Yes. Could it get blocked? Yes. The two leaders are actually meeting rather than just on a phone. There's a potential for Trump to go to Russia later on. That's positive. There's talking going on. Anytime you have talking going on, whether there's disagreements, whether they come to resolution or not, it's positive. Unlike the previous administration, where there was no dialogue and they attempted to just cancel Russia, which is not going to happen. We've got major economic challenges in the future. I think everyone's going to have to deal with, especially the Europeans. So we've got the major global war on trade going on as well. So perhaps some resolution here, some potential developments could be positive, both from not just only from the peace side, but as I mentioned, from the economic and trade side as well as global security.